Can you really make up to $10,000 a month with ClickBank? Well, today we're going to go through that exact question because there's all these people on social media saying that you can make money with ClickBank super fast. And today we're going to go through the ClickBank affiliate program and show you exactly what you need to know. I've been using ClickBank for over 26 years. That's right, I signed up for my first account back in 1999. But it wasn't until the year 2000 that I got my first sale. This is super important because you're going to see exactly how this works. In fact, last year, ClickBank actually invited me out to their headquarters to do a full training. There was just a couple of us there teaching, so I regarded it as kind of a big deal. But enough about me. Let's get to you and how you're going to use the ClickBank affiliate program to make money. Today, I'm going to show you everything, including 2 websites I'm setting up as a ClickBank affiliate to make money. These are not in your typical make money online niches. They have nothing to do with that. So we're going to show you everything, including how I choose the offers, how I get paid, how to get traffic, make sales, and more. So if you're excited to learn how to make money with ClickBank the real way, smash a like button because we're going to dive in and go through everything step by step. Come on, let's go to work. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in and talk about how to make money with ClickBank. Like I said, I've been using ClickBank for a long time. You can see I've made quite a bit of money. I usually average around $50,000 to a little bit over $100,000 a year. It's not my main moneymaker, but it is a good moneymaker, and it has been very consistent. In addition to this, I've made a lot with other things as well. Now, before we get into this training, I want you to know that the vast majority of people trying to make money online make nothing. So whenever you see results like this, or even results like these people talking about how much you're going to make and everything like that, we want to go through this with a fine-tooth comb and really look at, okay, what's the fact? What does it actually take to make this work? Because most people are going to struggle. That is a fact. That's just with any business, that's how it works. Now, I want to go back to July of the year 2000 when I made my first ClickBank sale. This was a sale as a vendor. I actually had a product, something that's very popular today known as master resale rights or resale rights, which sometimes can get into some shady stuff. What I was doing back then is I was selling the resale rights products that I got from a big batch for like different reports and things like that. More about that in just a little bit. I actually still own the website that did that sale. It actually did 3 sales, which was one of the big aha moments for me. Now, last year was when I went and spoke at ClickBank, which was great. We were on their ClickBank stage, and we also did a podcast with them, which was really cool. So this is something that it's a real legit business. It works really, really well. Here's some of my earnings you can see here as well. And if you want to check out the ClickBank page where they had the summit, as they called it, you could see here, there was only a couple of us that spoke. I think I was one of the only non-sponsored speakers, which was actually pretty cool because they trusted my training, right? I didn't have any stake in the game. They were like, hey, we saw your stuff. We like it. We want to work with you, which was cool because, you know, working from home, sometimes I don't get the awards and everything because I do my own thing, but that was kind of like a pat on the back of what's going on. Now, before we get into all this, let's answer some questions. We're going to have a rapid fire Q&A section at the end, and right now we're going to go through and answer some of the basic questions, like what is ClickBank? First of all, ClickBank is a platform where you can sell products. It is first a digital product platform. I don't need a merchant account. I don't need anything. I can just sign up for ClickBank. They take the payments, deliver the product. It's all ready to go. Much like school or something like that, only not so much community-based. This was one of the first ones, so it'd be more like a JV Zoo or Digistore 24 kind of thing, although they have ventured into physical products now as well. Now, what makes ClickBank different than a regular merchant account or something like school is the fact that they have their own built-in affiliate network. They have hundreds of thousands of affiliates that promote products from all over the place. So you don't even have to have your own product. You can go promote things as an affiliate. I'm going to show you how to select from all the stuff that is out there on ClickBank and what I'm actually doing to make money as well. What we have to look at here is the difference between vendors and affiliates. A vendor is someone who has a product. So some of my sales up here are from being a vendor where I have my own product and affiliates can promote it, or I can promote it on my own and get sales. Very simple. Now, when we go through here, we want to look at what makes it viable today versus saturated, because a lot of people think, oh, ClickBank is super saturated. It's been around forever. It's too competitive. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Nothing is too competitive if you know how marketing works. If you understand the internet and how marketing works, nothing is ever too competitive. More about that in just a minute. First of all, let's talk about how we would actually make sales. If we were to go and log into our ClickBank account over here, I'll log in so you can see it. What we could do is we could go and search for many different products and figure out what it is we want to sell. Now, the cool thing about this is it's actually very easy to do. You can see I've actually been making some sales here. Here's some sales today. Pretty cool stuff. We can go over to the affiliate marketplace like this and search for all kinds of products. So once you have an affiliate account, which doesn't cost anything. The vendor one does cost money. If you want to sell stuff, they do have a charge to become a vendor, which is pretty standard. But if you're going to be an affiliate, it should never cost anything. So going here, we can go and look at all the different categories, or we could type in a niche if we want to do like jump higher niche, which is one we're going to show you in just a minute. You can see here for jump higher, we have this vert shock, vertical jump training, high conversion rate. You could see it does get sales and everything like that. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about what some of these numbers mean. But if I wanted to promote this product, all I would need to do is click on Get Affiliate Link, choose my affiliate nickname, which is already in there, and then leave this the same because that's what tells it goes to the product. And then we're going to go ahead and continue and click on this link here. Now, there are some other things you can do, like if you're doing Facebook and you're doing Instagram and YouTube and you have a blog, you could go in there and you can have what's called a different parameter or a different variable where it'll track it. So you'll know, hey, all these people are coming from ClickBank or YouTube or whatever it is, right? Super cool stuff. So you can add all that there. You can also choose which page you want them to go to. Like if you want to promote the lead magnet, okay, cool. So I could teach all kinds of things about how to jump higher. Go to this page, it'll take them to the lead magnet. You'll see it'll add those on the end of the link. Once I have the link the way I want it, I'm going to copy it and then I'm going to test it. Now, it's very important that you test it and pay attention to how the link works. A lot of people think, oh, well, this has the hop ID in it. This link should work. It will not work. If you copy this link, you will not get paid. I've had affiliates argue with me about this, and it's like, no, that's not how it works. It has to pass through the ClickBank tracking site in order to drop the cookie, which is what gets you paid. So even if you see your name at the end of the thing or whatever it is, or it says tracking ID, that doesn't necessarily mean you're getting paid. So you need to copy this link. Very, very important. It surprises me how many affiliate marketers don't pay attention to that and wonder why they're not making money because you're not using the link. But at any rate, this leads to an opt-in page so I can actually get them to opt in, build a mailing list, and make that work. Now, it's not my mailing list, it's theirs, but I could drive people to that and say, hey, go there and get the free guide or whatever it is. Very, very simple. Now, that is how the tracking link works. You could literally go to ClickBank and choose from tons and tons of different products. Promote them all if you want, which I don't think anyone wants to do all of them. I would stick to just a handful of them. Now, we're going to go through how to use AI to automate this, but I'm going to tell you right at the get-go, what we want to do with ClickBank is we want to pair it with other offers. 9 times out of 10, when I use ClickBank to promote something, I'm running other things that pay well. So I might go to like a CPA affiliate network and get something even better. Like maybe I figure out, oh, hey, working out your abs helps you jump better. Maybe they have a good ab offer that pays more. Okay, these are the things I'm going to pair it with because we don't want to just go through and promote that one offer. Where those people are saying, oh, you're just going to go out there and throw some social media stuff up and make zillions of dollars, that's not exactly true. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of things that need to go into it. We need to treat it like a business. Now, the 2 ways to treat this like a business are number 1, know your niche market, and number 2, test the products. So I don't want to promote something without actually testing it. I want to go out there and say, okay, what is this product? Is it a software? Is it a book? Is it a guide? What is it? And how can I go through and make it work even better? When looking at ClickBank over here, you're going to see that there are literally offers in every vertical, every niche, anything you can imagine. So if I was going to go through and do something like health and fitness, I can see, okay, here's all this health and fitness stuff, or I could do e-business and marketing. Here's some software and things like that. Now, it's up to you to vet the offers because ClickBank does a pretty good job of trying to weed out the junk. But when you have a network this big, there's always junk. And as an affiliate, we are responsible for what we promote. Even those people out there that are promoting those, make a whole bunch of money, whatever, those ones are getting in hot water, even the affiliates, because they're promoting stuff knowing that it's not the greatest for the user. So we want to make sure that it's good for the user. Now, when you look at this, ClickBank is known as an affiliate network and also a vendor network. So they're kind of one and the same. They're a little unique in that aspect, like a JVZoo or a Digistore or even Warrior Plus, but personally, for me, Warrior Plus has like some of the lower quality offers that I don't usually get into. A lot of what's known as blind copy, where they sell it without telling you what you're buying, which is unethical in my opinion and in a lot of other people's opinion. But when we look at ClickBank, JVZoo, Digistore 24, a lot of these are the same kind of deal where you're selling the product and the merchants also on there as well. Now, we can get into some other stuff like Gumroad or PartnerStack or whatever it is, but ClickBank is one of the easiest ones. It's one of the first ones I made money with. It has a lot of stuff. Now, when you get through here, what you want to do is you want to first validate an offer and make sure it's going to work. A lot of people ask me, Marcus, how do you validate an offer before you run ads or before you actually run the site? Well, what I like to do is I like to find domain names. So I'll go and look for domains that are on auction, domains that are old businesses, and I try to find something that works. In this example, I'm going to show you a couple of domains that I bought, including this one I bought for $1,000. If you don't have $1,000, don't worry. You could do this with social media, and then later, if you want to buy a domain, you can. I would say at bare minimum, get some kind of domain, because that's where you're going to send all your traffic to, and it's very important to have. We're going to talk about why this is better than like using like a link in bio or a link tree or something like that. Even StanStore, this is a lot better than StanStore, because StanStore, you're giving all the traffic to StanStore, and in my 26 years of doing this, they're not really set up for conversions the way that you can make your own site set up to convert. And conversions are everything. If nobody's buying, then I'm not going to make any money. If 1 out of 10 are buying and I can get 2 out of 10, well, I'm going to double my money just with that little bit. That's why this is important, and that makes the difference between success and failure in a lot of times. So these people who are like, just go put videos on social media about this ClickBank product and lead them to the offer by itself, it's not exactly the best way to go, and you will be leaving money on the table doing that. Now, if we were to look at the vertical shock program, which is one that I'm going to talk about here, this is one that has been around a while. It does have a conversion rate, okay, lower conversion rate, lower gravity. Does this matter? Well, a lot of people say the gravity number is important. The gravity number, I want you to think about it like high school, right? When you're in high school, is the most popular person the best, smartest at everything? No, they're just popular. It's just a popularity contest. That's what the gravity is. They were able to get a lot of affiliates to promote it. That's all that means. Other than that, I've gone out there with different products with zero gravity, and I've cleaned house, made a bunch of money. Why? Because sometimes those are less competitive, and the gravity doesn't have any bearing on how it sells. Like this one here, the EPC is really low, and that's the earnings per click. What does that mean? For every click that I send to my affiliate link, on average for this offer, people are averaging 15 cents. They're probably sending junk traffic, which means I can do better. I think in this niche, I probably want to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 47 to $1 per click. So 47 cents to $1 per click, maybe even more. So with the EPC, the gravity, and the CVR, having the numbers is good, but it doesn't really mean anything, okay? A lot of people get hung up on that. Now, with this, what I did, this $997 or $995 domain that I bought actually ranked in Google for different things like a chain for jumping, vertical jump, some kind of jumping exercise, all things related to jump exercises. So looking at this, what I want to do is I want to prove that concept. So first, we actually came up with this in my Nike video. If you check out the Nike affiliate program video in the description, it's going to go over, that's how I came up with this domain. That's how I came up with this niche. Instead of promoting shoes, I'm promoting how to jump higher, which is very important. So looking at this domain, which ranked for all these keywords, the chances of building it back and getting it to rank are actually pretty high. And so what I want to look for are what are the things that I can help people with. So I could go to like ChatGPT or something like that. I can type in, let's make a glossary of terms for people who want to increase vertical jump for sports. And it'll do like volleyball and high jump and basketball, mainly basketball. Because I think the sales pitch, basketball, I think the sales pitch is for basketball. So I think this one's going to be, if we gear it towards that, that's what's going to make the conversion rate go up. Because, okay, they're going to see basketball. They're going to want that. So here's all of our keyword terms here. And what you're going to notice is like these get a lot of searches. So if I go to a tool like Ahrefs, type in standing vertical jump, I got 300 people. The competition isn't that bad. It's not that hard to make content. Highest vertical jump. I can make content about, Shaq jumps 27 inches. This guy jumps 47. Michael Jordan jumps over buildings or whatever it is. You're going to see I can make good content about this. This is the key. If I can make good content in a way that's going to get people in, they're interested in this, that's what's going to make it work. Super, super important. So if I go on with my glossary like this, let's say I want 100 words. Let's do 100 words, just type the words, no definition. We'll add the definition later, and I'll show you how this works. Definition, hopefully it understands whatever I typed there. It was supposed to say definition, but I can't spell. So we're going to go through and we're going to look at this and iron it out and say, what would this look like if I was to get traffic to it? And again, remember, even if it was like 15 cents on average, they're getting, okay, if I could do that, if I could send 1,000 people a day, what would that be? 10,000 people a day, what would that be? If I can increase the conversion rate, what would that look like? Again, focusing on very specific traffic that wants this stuff that we're offering is super, super important. So if we go through and we get this here, here's our giant list here. Okay, we can do, make them more specific to vertical jump, like a keyword list. Let's see if it does this here, because like mindset, that's not really what I want. I could pair it with it, like vertical jump mindset or basketball mindset. I don't know if anyone searches for that, but let's see here. Basketball mindset. It might get it. It gets like 30 people. So you could do like a basketball mindset kind of thing. But again, looking at this and saying, okay, I want to directly focus. This is the list we want. Vertical jump, max vertical, this is what we want here. Now watch what happens when I take this keyword list and pop it into Ahrefs over on Keyword Explorer. Here we go. We're going to type all 100. So out of these 100 words, we have an average search volume of 200,000 people a month, which is great. And we could see the competition's actually not that bad. There's a lot of good stuff here that we can use. So starting to understand that would be really cool, like standing vertical jump. Okay. Now, when you go off the path, like a lot of people look at this like, oh, I'm going to rank in Google, I'm going to get 200 people. Not necessarily. Like you can go over there and you'll see on YouTube, okay, the amount of people watching standing vertical jump videos is actually a lot more than the amount of people searching for it in Google. Right, so here's 1.4 million, 280,000, 61, 3.9 million, and all these videos are all about this stuff, and they're getting lots and lots of views. So we're going to pair this with video. We'll talk about the traffic in a minute, but understanding, oh, this is how it works. I find an offer, vertical jump, basketball jump, get the words, get the stuff, make good content about it. If you're a basketball player, this is a plus. I'm actually going to partner with my guys at the gym. I have a trainer at the gym, and what he does when he's not training me is teach people to jump higher. Clearly, he has not taught me anything about how to jump higher because I do not jump high at all. But at any rate, we're going to pair together because I know he can create much better, good content. Okay, and I'm like, hey, I'll give you half of it. There we go. So doing that is good. And if you want, you could go and find a ClickBank offer that fits what you're trying to do. Like maybe you're an accountant, go find some accounting software, or maybe you like something else, right? Going through and looking at that, you can find offers that'll fit pretty much anything. Like if I go and I do, let's say spirituality, there's all kinds of offers for like, my law of attraction and things like that do really, really well. And if you're into that niche, it's going to make it that much easier for you to do. You don't have to be. I've gone into niches I know nothing about, but it's good to be. It does help, okay? Especially when you're looking for authentic traffic. Now, if we were to take a look at another one, so this is the first one I got. I bought the domain. There we go. If you didn't want to buy the domain, just go to GoDaddy and find a domain that has something related, like BB jump or basketball jump or jump higher fast or something like that you can get for $9 or whatever, and start with that domain. But start with the domain. I'm going to tell you why this is important in a minute. The next offer I wanted to look at was for another domain. This domain I paid $565 for. It has active rankings in Google. I've owned it for like 6 months. It still gets traffic every day, which is really cool. I didn't have to do much for it to get traffic, and is for explainer videos. So I went to ClickBank and I'm like, okay, I got traffic for explainer videos, and this doodle animated whiteboard video tool helps them out. EPC of 75 cents. Pretty cool. So I have this domain. It ranks for all this stuff. Whiteboard animation company. It fits. It's boom, right on the head there. This is what we do all the time. This is how we build these businesses and make them work. So starting to look at that and say, cool, I can just go and get my affiliate link and make it work. Now, if you're doing this on a new domain and you don't have a powerful domain, or you don't have money to buy a domain or whatever, you can do this on social media. What I would do is I would start making content about the traffic. So like using a tool like ChatGPT or even Manus AI. We're using Manus AI like this, where we're going through and you can create infographics for your market. See this here, master the stretch shortening cycle, the secret to explosive power, what to do. Shows you what to do. It's got the URL, and it made literally tons of these based on specific things. Now, Manus AI, I think the cheapest plan is like $20 a month. I think at $20 a month, you could probably get quite a few of these, or you could create these yourself in Canva. I'm not big on creating them in Canva. That's why I use Manus, but you can do them on your own if you like. Manus is cool because it'll do a bunch at once, and all I need to do is think about my niche differently. Like over here, I have 500 tips for explainer videos, right? So here's 500 different tips for explainer videos. I can take this, I can go into Manus, and I could say, now let's create little tips that I can post on social media or little videos or whatever it is to promote my site. My site has the offer for the cartoon video or the animated video maker or whatever it is. And boom, now I'm off to the races. This is all about strategy. It's about what I post and why and how I stay consistent. Now, we can even go through and use AI to create other things like tools or whatever it is. Maybe you make a short video script maker, right? I could do animated, or let's do whiteboard script. And you'll see people looking up like whiteboard script. Oh, I got to type it right. There we go. Whiteboard script. You can see people are looking this up. And again, this is one where, you know, the effect on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, there's a lot more traffic of people watching this stuff rather than just searching it. If I do something like whiteboard video or explainer video, again, here we got lots of traffic there. Explainer video. Did I spell that right? I think I did, right? So we have explainer video here, and you could see, boom, there you go. And you can even make videos on, oh, here's how to make an explainer video on Canva. By the way, do you want a better software? Go get this other software at the ClickBank link or whatever. And you could start to make things very simple, like this one I created in Manus. And now I can go through and use all those tips where we're like, okay, now I can go through and take all 500 tips, talk to them about explainer videos or whatever. You could even go through and make it basic. You could do, tell me all the types of faceless videos, including whiteboard, animated, documentary, ECT. List 100 plus. This will give you all the different types of videos. I can make content about, oh, here's the whiteboard sales video. Here's the whiteboard learning video. All of this stuff is where we go through, and now we can promote this in a very, very straightforward way. Or if you're going to do the smoothie example, which is one that I used in my talk at ClickBank, we can go out there and use ChatGPT and say, what are the most common, and this stuff goes nuts on social media. I'm watching it right now. There's like 3 people that just started on social media, and they make like a cartoon video of a broccoli saying, hey, I'm the broccoli and I help you get more energy and whatever. And it's like the dumbest video ever, but people love them. They're loving it. So what if we did that instead of just trying to get paid on the views? What if we went out there and were like, what if I did that deliberately for smoothie stuff? and things like that. So I could go, what are the most common ingredients, things people put in smoothies for health? Now, very important here, I'm going to say this multiple times throughout the video. If you're bordering on the health industry, talk about what scientists say things do, not what you believe the product does. What do I mean by that? You could say something like turmeric helps inflammation, but I'm not going to say something like this cures or this helps or whatever. I'm going to make it very base level, like, oh, vitamin D makes you happy or whatever. Make it very base level, very obvious things, not getting into health stuff. We don't want to teach health stuff unless you're a doctor. If you're a doctor, go for it. You know what you're doing. You went to med school. For the rest of us, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But can I say, yeah, drinking more water makes you more hydrated? Well, yeah, that's pretty basic, right? I think we're going to be okay there. Always disclaimer it and everything like that. But if I did what are the most common things people put in smoothies for health, list 250, it'll go through and it'll be like blueberries, whatever. And then I would say, now tell me the super obvious, safe, basic health benefit agreed on by all. Why do I want that? Because I want it basic, I want it benefit, and I want it agreed on by all, so it's not like, oh, this one guy says this. You want it very safe, right? So we'll do like that, and then we can go through and start making stuff about like, you know, how to put barley in your, that'd be a weird smoothie with barley. But at any rate, you know, you can have your barley smoothie there, and it'll go through and it'll talk about that stuff. Now, I would advise against doing the health market, but I thought this one would be good to show you that example, right? And you could do like provides essential nutrients and vitamins and whatever. You could make those videos. And those are super simple. Like I could go over to Gemini and be like, video of a broccoli saying why broccoli is good for you. Have him on a counter by a smoothie maker, right? Something like that, very simple. And you can create a video right here. I think you can create like 8 videos a day or something with Gemini. I think I have the higher Gemini, but we've tested it with smaller ones. I think it is 8 a day, something like that. Don't quote me on it. It could change, but more or less we could go through and make these things. Now, if you wanted to make this bulk content, again, with the animated video one, I would just take all this. I would go to Manus and I'd say, okay, now let's make one for the next one, right? So I could go through here and say, okay, now make one for whiteboard screen combo, or maybe even like a caption only screenshot walkthrough video, something like that. I could have it make an infographic for it, and then I can turn that into a video to use. So I would say, now make one for this tool walkthrough video. So we have tool walkthrough video and keep same branding. Boom, it'll go through and it'll make one for walkthrough videos or whatever. What I would do is I would keep it to like tips. So if it's like law of attraction, can I get that glossary? Okay, cool. Let's go like this and let's do what are all the tips with law of attraction? What do people, or let's do this. Let's do what make a law of attraction glossary, just the terms, no definition. Then what I would do is I'd do another pass. So I'm going to do make a law of attraction glossary, just the terms, no definition. Then on the second pass, I would say, what are the tips on each one? Who said them? ECT. So it'd be like manifestation, you know, I don't know, Tony Robbins. Here's what he said. Here's why I like it. Boom, make that into an infographic. That's something you can share on social media, and then you can go and promote, you know, law of attraction stuff on ClickBank. Not my favorite market, but a lot of people do make a lot of money in it, so it's just not my cup of tea. I could do law of attraction. Boom, there we go. And you could see like, okay, some of these do pay really well. Let's find some $40 there. 47 laws, quantum manifestation. So for those that, don't want regular, you could get quantum. Obviously, make sure the products are good and help. But now we could see like classical law of attraction, vibration, and emotion first. Main teachers, here's the core belief. You attract experiences that match your dominant emotional vibration. This is the kind of stuff people love on social media, right? We could go through and be like, okay, cool. Now find 100 quotes about LOA. Specific tips quotes, not generic. And you can cite the quote and then say what it means to you or how it helps or whatever. This is what's known as sideways content, and it works like crazy. In fact, today we have a keyword miner prompt as part of our prompt challenge we're doing, which is pretty cool. We're going to give away prompts every day this month, so you can go there and get all kinds of prompts. Today's is about this stuff. Now, when we go through this is how we make the content. We're going to talk about where to put it in a minute. But there's several things you can do once you get those people, right? So I get these people, they're watching my stuff, they're consuming Instagram content, social media, YouTube, whatever. I have my domain, that's where I send them. Then there's several things you can do. One is known as direct linking. This is not recommended. A lot of people use this, but it's definitely not recommended. One, because you can't have an affiliate disclaimer on it. Like you need your own site to say you're an affiliate. That is required. You need to do that. Understanding that's key. A lot of people don't pay attention to the rules. Like all those people that are like, oh, the average affiliate makes 80 grand a year or 180 grand a year. That is not actually true. They are not telling the truth about it. They don't disclaimer it. They can get in hot water. Some of the people out there doing that have gotten in hot water for it. And it's not fun, right? You want to keep things ethical and keep them good. But going out there and understanding this is key because now I can disclaimer and say, I am an affiliate. Now, direct linking would be, okay, I share my direct ClickBank link. Literally, I go copy the link from here, get affiliate link, boom. This is a direct link. Okay, that's the lowest form of affiliate marketing. Go promote this link. It's a terrible looking link, which is why it's not recommended. The next step is to have a link cloaker using a bit.ly or something like that. Again, it's risky. It's not good. We don't want to do that. Link in bio is the next one. This is where you would use something like Linktree, Standstore, something like that. It's mostly for social beginners. Like if you want to do this like you mean it and your goal is to make more than $4, get yourself a domain name. Like stop messing around, do what you got to do, build it like a business. Most people make nothing, and this is why. They don't treat it like a business. They don't look at it objectively and say, okay, I need to put out a lot of content. I need to get a lot of traffic. It's not super difficult, but it is something that does take work. Link in bio, again, I would say don't do that. The next one is a splash page. Okay, this is the bare minimum I would start at. I'd get my domain. I'd make a splash page. What is a splash page? Well, if I go to Gemini over here, and I think we actually have a splash page for today's prompt as well. Let's check on our broccoli video.
Broccoli is packed with vitamin C and K. It helps reduce inflammation and is high in fiber, making it the perfect smoothie ingredient.
So there's our broccoli. He's pretty cool. Now, when I do this, where would I want to send these people and how would it work? Well, if I did a splash page, I can go over to something like Gemini here, and I could say, let's go to a new one. And I could say, make a splash page for the vertical jumping program on ClickBank, pre-selling the offer with an affiliate disclosure. Disclaimer. Okay, and that'll go through and it'll write it for me, which is cool. I'm going to drop down into, we're going to go to Canvas, and we're going to do this here, and then we can also say, let's put some other related affiliate offers below it. And that way we can promote multiple things. When I had many different websites, I had one about how to get six-pack abs. We had multiple offers on it. So you'd have, the main offer, which is the big one. Okay, sometimes it'll be ClickBank, sometimes it won't. You're going to have to do that research, use your prompts to figure it out like this. But having multiple offers is going to help you because, if 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100 people buy, what about those other 99 people you work so hard to get? We want them to buy some other stuff too. Now going through here, make a splash page for vertical jumping program. Let's see what this comes up with. Let's match the page. Black background, match the look of this. And we can even give it our example over here. So let's say I wanted to give it this one. Okay, so let's just make that bigger, copy, and we'll just give it this look, and it'll do that for us. Now, a splash page basically is a page with a link to the offer and other stuff on it. This is what's known as click flopping. You are directing the click from one thing to another. You collect nothing. You're not really building a business. When the traffic is gone, your business is over. That's a risky way to go. I would probably say, build a mailing list if you're really serious about it. And then if you're really, really serious about it, build an entire website. Okay, very, very important. So a splash page is a link on the page. So here's an example of a splash page. We'll just show you these examples here. And if you want to learn more about them, type landing pages as a comment below, and I'll do a big training on landing pages if we get enough comments for that. So going through here, it's going to show you what these look like, and then I'll get you the example of the splash page, squeeze page, and full website. Full website would be like what we're doing with the domains. I'm making a full website about how to jump higher. Boom, there we go. Next up, we can go through and look at some other niches as well, but let's see how this came out. So here we have Dunk Elite, right? Get access, add 9 to 15 inches to your vertical, masterclass, instant access. So this would be the link to my ClickBank offer. So I could literally give this to Gemini and I will be in business, right? So I would go here, I would find that jumping offer, jump, right like this. We'll get VertShock. Let's get affiliate link, and here we go. And then again, this is where if you want them to buy, we'll send them to the sales page, okay? Pretty cool. So we'll go checkout page or whatever. So this will take them to checkout. This will take them to sales page, whatever we want. Let's send them to the free lead magnet. I think that would work pretty good, okay? So if I did that, here's how it would look. Here is my affiliate link. Also, I would cloak this link. So make a redirect or something. If you want a video on that, let me know. But at any rate, going through here, it'll put that link in there. And there you go. So this would be an example of a squeeze page. You're squeezing the traffic into the offers. And then you could say, okay, what other offers do we have? Stuff like that. Very simple to make. Now that we have AI, it makes this stuff so much easier to build. But because it's easy to build, people are forgetting about the conversion tactics that make it work. Just because you can build everything doesn't mean you should build everything. So now we have speed system, athlete nutrition guide, basketball IQ, affiliate disclaimer. Pretty cool. So it has all the other stuff as well. Now going here, this should take us right to our ClickBank. It did. There we go. Works. So there we go. We're in business. If they order through that link, I would get paid. Now, if I wanted to go through and say, now turn it into a squeeze page to capture leads first and link second. So what would happen if you do this to a squeeze page? It'll say, put your name and email for the free guide or whatever it is. Pretty simple stuff. And then that's where we would run our own website and have the whole thing working. Now, going through here, there's a lot of different offers on ClickBank. You want to be careful with what you promote. Again, it's up to you. This is your business. You have to run it like you mean it. The Instadoodle is a good one because we can go through and do sideways keyword, ClickBank angles, funnels, very easy to make. Or another one we found was alternative green energy. This is like solar panels and things like that. This one sells really good, which is great. Now, one other thing you can do here is some of these niches, you can actually create your own tool. So if you do like true home energy cost calculator or off-grid readiness score or something like that, you can go to Gemini. Okay, let's open another Gemini over here. I think I will just do it right here, Gemini. If we did another Gemini and we do Canvas, I can say, let's make a HTML. We're going to say HTML because I want it easy to put on my website. Again, we have videos on how to do this in the description and here on the channel. But we'll go like true home energy cost calculator. Boom, it'll make that. Now, going through here, let's see. Okay, so it's got the enter your email, unlock the free training. Excellent. So that's an example of a squeeze page. Now, if we had a whole blog, which is what I recommend, we could go out there and start making content about all of these things, right? So if I have 500 definition terms and tips on how to use them to jump higher, boom, I can make the blog about it, or a bunch of things to put in your smoothie, or maybe a bunch of things that you can use for the explainer videos, right? These are the kind of things that you can go through and start building a business around. And you can see here how to make tool walkthrough videos. Plan your recording, keep it short. Pretty easy, right? Does a good job. There we go. Pretty simple. I would probably vary it a little. That's a little too close to the first one. But you could go through and make this stuff or make them for law of attraction or whatever it is. This is about deliberately making content for people to watch that would want your product, right? I don't want to just make like videos of basketballs rolling down hills. No, I want to go through and make, like, here's how to jump higher. Here's 10 ways to increase the vertical jump. I want to go through and make things that are very, 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 very strategic and specific and then get them to it. That's what's going to make it an actual business and convert better. So here's all your quotes if you want to do the quote one. Now, going through here, let's see what else we had. The calculator. So the calculator we can make your utility rate, heating and cooling. So this will average out how much your cost is, which is pretty cool. And then, if that program, I don't know what it does, but apparently it saves you some money on energy. Maybe you could promote that and help them do better, right? So simple, little things that we can do with the point of getting them in, or even astrology. This is one where you can put daily content. You want 12 pieces of content to put each day? All you have to do is be like, okay, here's what Gemini gets today. Here's what Scorpio gets. Here's what Capricorn and all this other stuff. Pretty simple. Or you could even do like numbers, people who like numbers and things like that. Horoscopes, astrology, birth chart, stuff like this that's very specific. And then what I would do is also promote like law of attraction stuff and things that would fit. We want things that are very, very specific. Or woodworking. Could I go through and make images, right? I could go and use... let's say we wanted to go through with Manus, and instead of the basketball one, you could go and say, okay, well now let's list 200 most common beginner woodworking projects. And again, make sure that the products are good. I don't know. I never tested the woodworking one. But if I was going to sell it, I would want to do that, right? Here you got like birdhouse and stuff like this. You could go through and make little examples that people can do with images, use AI to make the images, and boom, there you go, right? And then say, oh, go over here to get woodworking tips or whatever it is. Again, having that website is what's really going to make it work. That's the key here. Or manifesting, you can do that one. Another product that we started doing was the towel product. They had like a reusable paper towel, I think it was. Let me see if I can find that here. So if we do towel, I think it was like the green towel, something like that. Let's do cleaning, something for cleaning. I think there was one there. It paid pretty good, but it was pretty solid. Doesn't look like it's there now, but there was one that did that. I think, what was it called? Paper towel? Paper? Something like that. It was one of the top ones for home and garden, and it did pretty well. I don't know where it's at there, but sometimes it goes to like as seen on TV. Here's a sewing one, right? If you're into sewing, you can make all kinds of sewing videos or whatever. Looking at that's really cool. How to stop your dog from barking. There's so many different angles on ClickBank. And again, it's about doing ethical, good things and making content that is only designed for one thing, getting people that are interested in whatever product it is. So going through there, having your own website is key. Getting a domain, that's even better. What you're going to notice is that with affiliate marketing, there's different like levels, right? The first level is, okay, let's just direct link. You get an affiliate link, you share it. That's the basic. It's the most risky. It's not a good idea. Next one, oh, I got a bit.ly or a link tree. Okay, it's a little better, barely. Next up, I get a domain name. Okay, you could just redirect the domain name or make a splash page. That's pretty easy. Next, I get web hosting and start a whole website or have a whole blog with a bunch of content. The more you do, the better it's going to grow. And the more it grows, obviously, the more traffic you're going to get and the more money you can make. Starting to understand that's key. And it needs to be the right traffic. Like, I'd rather focus on the right traffic than focus on more. Like 1 million views of someone, not making a basket versus me having 10,000 views of here's how to jump higher. My 10,000 views is going to make more, hands down. So starting to understand that is key. Now, over at gotniches.com, I'm going to have some of the niche reports and the trainings that were included in here. We also have a service where we set these up for you. So if you want to work with me, you can go to highticketniches.com. This is where we find domains and set them up for you. This is what I do for a living. This is what I've done for 26 years. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I love it. It's been doing really well for me. So advanced money moves, when we go through here, you can go and do like problem hubs. Why does this not work? Why am I not jumping higher? Why is my smoothie not making me awake? What most people miss or beginner mistakes. You can do stuff like that. Advanced strategy number 2 is to create tools. Can you make a checklist, a skill score, a tracker? Maybe you can make like a jumping planner. We talked about that in a Nike video. Check it out in the description. Super important. Maybe self-assessment tests or a progress tracker, or like we did here, where we're having the profitable prompting challenge, and people go through and they get a new challenge every day. I coded this entire thing with AI. It's amazing. It's doing really well. People love it. Again, keep it safe, keep it good, focus on what people actually want. Also, going through identity shift selling, where you could do like, this is who I am now, or something like that. Like, I want to be the guy who jumps high with the basketball, or whatever. Now, my reality check here, I would say health, don't do it. Don't do it. Desperation, don't do it. Shady tactics, money lies, don't do it. What we do want to do is enter early, solve confusion, think sideways content. Instead of, jump higher basketball, what are all the things people would get to jump higher? Instead of, here's how to make stuff with wood, what are those 200 projects beginners do make? Those people looking that up, like a guy who knows how to make a full-on armoire or whatever, he's not going to look up how do I make a wooden heart box, right? That's a beginner. The beginners are going to look up the beginner stuff. That's who's going to buy the course. Super important that we focus on our traffic. Keep it simple. Let the offer do the selling. Again, we're going to have some notes and stuff over at gotniches.com. Now let's do some rapid fire ClickBank Q&A. We went through what is ClickBank, how does you make money with ClickBank? Obviously, you promote your link and sell stuff. What makes it not saturated? Doing the sideways content. What are the best business models? We can use SEO, paid ads, email, social media, hybrid of all of them. I like to do all of them together. Most people don't like to do paid ads because it can be risky, but you could do social and SEO. Those work really good, especially with domain names. I think I had a list of traffic methods as well I was going to go through. But looking at the traffic methods, SEO is probably one of the most cut and dry ones. But if you're making content to rank in Google, that's what SEO is, right? Like if I wanted SEO, that would mean for explainer video production, okay, how would we rank here? So people search for it. Here's paid ads. So this guy here is paying for traffic. Here's another one paying. Here's some videos, so I could make a video and rank. And then down here are the other guys. Now, the reason I bought my domain is because it does rank for these terms, which is pretty cool. So, like, there's a bonus. It's easier to rank for it because it already ranked for it. I just go through and build it up and make it work. Now, going through and looking at that, I would pair that with social, because if you're making a post for your blog, you might as well make a social media image. Going through that's really, really important. How long did it take to start making consistent profit? For me, it was kind of all over the place. Like consistency was when I got into member stuff. Like you'll see the screenshot up here is very consistent. Where is it? This one here, you could see we only made 71 sales and we got $46,000. Why? Because most of that's recurring. So it's like a membership site or something like that. So membership sites are the best way to get consistent type stuff. Biggest early mistake was not setting that up, not setting up real businesses, going out there and trying to post on social media for this and it didn't work and trying another, floundering around and not selecting a niche. That was the biggest mistake that cost the most. Super important. Most people don't do that. That's why we have high ticket niches, because we go through and we're like, okay, here's your niche, go do it. Here's the proof that the niche works. Here's the validation of it. put it together. It does take work. Nothing's guaranteed. Most people make nothing, but it is something that we can go through and say, well, the basketball niche has a pretty good shot. People are buying the product. People are searching for it. Boom, I can make it work. What metrics do I actually care about when choosing an offer? This is a tricky one. A lot of people look at the EPC. A lot of people look at the gravity. I don't. I look at how close it matches my traffic. That's what I want. That's all I care about, because you can have an offer that most people get 15 cents on, but I get more than $1. Why? Because my traffic fits. How do you validate an offer before spending any money? Well, you could go out there and run it on social media. See if you get clicks. See if you get people purchasing. Try it out. What niches work reliably? Pretty much anything, as long as it's ethical. Spotting fake winners, again, that's going to be about your traffic. It has to be a match. Like someone looking for, how to drive better, okay, in golf, right? If they're looking for that and you have a product that's how to drive better, boom, there you go. We talk about this all the time where it's like direct hit offers. A direct hit offer would be something that's cost effective, something that's good, something that fits the keyword exactly. So not like how to play golf, no, how to drive better in golf, specific. What traffic source would I start today if I had zero? If I had zero, I would start with social. I would do like social media, maybe a press release if I can find a free place to do a press release and it fit. If I had $500, I would get a domain that matches, hands down. What traffic sources are beginner friendly? I would say social media is beginner friendly. Expert only, I'm going to say pay-per-click only, because that's one where like you could legit lose money because you're buying ads. How do you trust traffic without blowing your budget? I usually do a 1% rule. So if the product pays me $47, I don't want to bid more than 47 cents. If the product pays $100, I don't want to bid more than $1. If I can be half of that, that would be good. And again, remembering it has to fit. Like the traffic has to fit. If you're bidding on a word that has nothing to do with it, it doesn't matter if it's a penny, it's not going to work. It has to fit. That's where squeeze pages and stuff come into play. What signals tell me to get rid of a campaign versus scale it? No sales and 300 clicks. If I send 300 targeted clicks and I get no sales, so I do my social media, 300 people come from my videos and go to the ClickBank page. Nobody orders, I'm going to rethink that one, because then I might have a dud. Looking at that's important. Do I always use a landing page? Always, 100%. What makes a landing page convert in ClickBank specifically? Well, your landing page's goal is to get qualified buyers to the ClickBank page. So if you say and you mimic like, okay, the sales page is blue and green, I should have blue and green on my site. If the sales page says jump higher, I should put jump higher. Very important. So something that matches, again, this is all about testing and simplicity. The more you confuse your visitor, the worse off you're going to do, because you did all this work. Like you have 100 videos out there teaching people to jump higher. They come to your site and they get confused. You just blew it. Right? We need to keep it congruent and simple. How important is email capture? 100%, unless it's a niche you don't want to get an email list for. Most of the time we do, though. What type of lead magnets? We could do checklists. Like if I have a simple checklist of how to jump higher, that would be pretty good. What metrics do I track daily versus weekly? Clicks and sales. At what point do you know an offer is scalable? We answered that already. Break even. I'm not here to break even, so I'm not going to answer that one. How do you reinvest profits early on? That's mainly if you're buying ads. But if not, you can reinvest in new AI tools or new content, or maybe more credits on Manus if you want to create videos and stuff like that. What caused your biggest growth spike? Consistency. When I started saying I'm going to make X amount of pieces of content per day, or X amount of blog posts, or X amount of videos, or X amount of posting on social media, that paired with the right strategy was the biggest growth spike. Because what happens is you might make a video and it does okay. It lives for like 2 days on Instagram and fizzles out. Or maybe you don't get any traffic on Instagram. Maybe you put it on YouTube and it gets 10 visitors a day. Okay, cool. That's 10 a day I didn't have yesterday. And 10 I'm going to get tomorrow without doing anything. If I do another one, get another 10, you're going to start to build and grow. And if you focus on simple little wins, that's the game changer. Like so many people, I want to make $1 million tomorrow, man. How do I do it? Well, every YouTube guru has the tips on how to do it, apparently. I've been missing out here, right? But the way you're going to do it is slow and steady. You're going to focus and you're going to look. And then, like the times when I've made a bunch of money really quick, it's because I did the little stuff first, right? Very, very important. A lot of people don't see that. They just want that quick win without putting in the effort. Like I know if I want to jump higher, I got some work to do. I can't even jump over a quarter, right? So going through there and understanding I need to put in the work, I need to be consistent. If I do really good at jumping high for 10 days and then I quit for 2 years, I just lost all my momentum. You got to keep your momentum going. How do you build an asset versus chasing commissions? Building an asset has to do with what it is that you own, your social media channel, your domain, your website, your mailing list. These are all things that you would own. What is the hardest part no one talks about? I would say the talk that's going to go on in your head when things don't work. When things don't work, your head's going to be like, oh, this isn't it. See, I told you, right? When in actuality, we're going to look at facts. Facts are different, right? Money doesn't care how you feel. Traffic doesn't care how you feel. The internet doesn't care how you feel. In fact, they're like the worst for that. But at any rate, looking at that and understanding, like if I'm consistent and I get consistent results and learn from them, like when you fail, if something doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You just look at it and say, well, why didn't it work? How do I do better next time? And then your base level will change. Okay, well, this video or this piece of content got 10 views. Okay, good. Let's try to get 15 tomorrow. Okay, good. Let's try to get 20 the next day. And then what will happen is your base level will change. And it's like, oh, we're getting an average of 300 a day, 500, 1,000, and boom, you grow and grow and grow. But it all starts with that one. And I think a lot of people get that negative talk of, oh, this doesn't work or whatever. And they almost don't want it to work. They're almost scared of it. I think some people are scared of success. What's the most overrated tactic in ClickBank? Saying just post a social media video and make money overnight. Like a lot of these, what's sad about this, and we have a video coming up about it on Wednesday. What's sad about these people saying that it's so easy is it's not just like a ripoff, some of it. I don't know the people personally, but some of the programs out there are just straight up junk. But worse than just the money is it makes people believe it doesn't work, when in actuality, the steps to success are not super difficult. They just need to be done over and over and over and honed. And you got to be thick-skinned, right? Like when social media, like, you know how many people say mean things about my videos? It's like, hey, that's what happens when you go out there. Like if you start a restaurant, someone might say they hate your food. You've got to be ready for that. You got to understand that. And if you're not ready for that, then I would say don't attempt this business. If you don't have like an hour to 3 hours a day to really focus, I'm not talking watch your favorite video, go to a webinar, answer an email from your aunt about Thanksgiving. No, I'm talking like 3 hours of straight working, productive, creating, doing. If you don't have 1 to 3 hours that you sit and that's all you do every day, then I would say don't expect to make this business work. Now, are there some caveats? Yeah, if you do paid traffic and you crack the code. I mean, I had a website that lasted about 3 years. I didn't have to do anything, and it wasn't even that hard to set up. That was an anomaly. It worked really, really well until it stopped. Sometimes things stop working, changes and trends. That was back with MySpace trend, and then when Facebook came along, there went that. But hey, I made a couple million off of it. Again, results not typical. Most people make a couple nothings. But understanding, okay, this is a business. That's what really we have to look at. What mindset shift actually made me profitable? It wasn't a mindset. Mindset is overrated. I think a lot of people are waiting to feel before they act, when in actuality, the actions bring the feelings. I learned this when I went into rehab, and he said, bring your ass and your mind will follow. Right? Like bring your butt there and your mind will follow. It's going to. Like if you go and you hang out with a bunch of people who are, anti-business, you're going to follow. Like your mind will just kind of go that way. But if you go out there and you say, okay, I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to watch, I'm going to learn, I'm going to be obsessed with marketing. That shift will help you. But don't be waiting for a feeling. Far too many people, we get so many sales around the first of the year because everyone feels good. Feelings won't get you anywhere. Like sometimes I feel bad. You know what I do when I feel bad? I make a video anyway. I make content anyway. I show up at work anyway. When I feel good, I still show up at work. I go through and I do what I got to do because I know the things will work. It has nothing to do with how I feel. Sometimes I don't want to do anything. Sometimes I feel like, oh, everything's against me. It's not converting. But it's not. It's just ebbs and flows. It's a numbers game. The more traffic you get that's focused on your offer, the more people can actually buy. That's the game changer. And when you understand that it's not about mindset, that's why I have a little issue with law of attraction, because it's like, you ain't going to wish yourself rich. Everyone who wished themselves stuff, won by sheer numbers. So like, you're like, oh, well, Marcus, you don't understand. This guy liked the law of attraction and he won the lottery. Yeah, well, 180 million people like the law of attraction. The odds of winning the lottery are about 181 million. Someone's going to win, and they all brag about it. They're like, oh, I got $500 from the lottery. Well, yeah, you probably would have gotten it anyway. Understanding that business is about reality and numbers and not things that we make up and not superstitions and not feelings, then we just go through and we make a business. And that's how you make money with ClickBank. If you understand exactly where you're going to go and you build these up like I'm doing, right? We're making the jump hire business. We're making the explainer video business based on offers, based on real things that work, things that people are looking up, things that people are buying right now. Put those together, wash, rinse, repeat, grow, focus, and you can build a business. So thanks for watching. Check out gotniches.com for the notes from the video. Check out the videos in the description. High ticket niches if you want to work with me and get a niche. Smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next training.